A former White House ethics chief is calling out Hunter Biden's plans to sell his paintings to anonymous buyers at prices ranging from $75,000 to $500,000. The former Obama and Trump ethics official tells Fox News this. It's a quote. The notion of a president's son capitalizing on that relationship by selling art at obviously inflated prices and keeping the public in the dark about who's funneling money to him has a shameful and grifty feel to it. Meanwhile, even though President Biden has pledged his family would have no foreign business ties, Hunter reportedly still holds an ownership stake in an investment firm linked to the Chinese government. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked about it in February.
There were reports that the president's son still owns a 10% stake in a Chinese investment firm formed with state-owned entities. Do you have an update on the divestment from that investment?
He has been working to unwind his investment, but I would certainly point you, he's a private citizen, I would point you to him or his lawyers on the outside.
Oh, Joe, now it's June. So the update is he still has ties and investment in that Chinese firm. Joe Concha is here, everybody. Fox News contributor and media and politics columnist for The Hill. Joe.
Yeah, maybe a reporter today, Harris, can circle back, for lack of a better term, at today's press briefing and ask the White House press secretary how that whole unwinding thing is going, because obviously it hasn't happened yet. And look, it bears repeating that the White House ethics chief that has been criticizing Hunter Biden's art sales served in the Obama-Biden administration. So this isn't a partisan thing here, right? And look, what first-time artist, I don't know, since Da Vinci, got something like $500,000 adjusted for inflation for a painting? This is another example of selling off the family name, Harris, and an apathetic media just yawns as it happens, because we all know if this was Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump, it would be the media apocalypse, Harris.
So what needs to happen here?
In terms of Hunter Biden not doing this stuff still?
Because you're not seeing the reporting of this outside really Fox. I mean, maybe it's happening, and I don't watch 24 hours of television on every channel, but it's certainly not making front page headlines, that sort of thing. So as you point out, I mean, he's a first-timer, and he's not Picasso, but, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's talented. So what needs to happen here? I mean, if other people aren't going to cover this, is there enough pressure on the White House to take a look at this?
I think there needs to be a constitutional amendment in media circles anyway to remove the 11th commandment, and that is thou shalt not report anything negative on Hunter Biden.
Oh, wow.
And this was a precedent that was set seriously, right? In October, before the election, when the New York Post had the laptop of Hunter Biden, had the contents of all those emails showing influence peddling, and it wasn't allowed to not only be reported, actually, if you shared it on Facebook, you got your account suppressed, you got the story censored, and now, even after the fact, he writes a book and goes on a book tour and barely gets any criticism. So what has to happen? You would think ABC, NBC, CBS, Washington Post, New York Times, CNN would report on this sort of stuff, but they will not because of this 11th commandment that apparently exists at other news organizations.
The Phantom 11 is what we should call it.
Yeah.
And by the way, what if he were forced just to use his first name? Do you think people would pay all that money for those paintings? Again, I don't really know art. I appreciate it. I'm not, I don't know. I'm not a curator. All right, let's move on. The Washington Post taking heat for reporting on what it calls Democrats' changing stance on voter ID laws with this headline: Stacey Abrams and the Democrats' evolution on voter ID. The former Georgia gubernatorial candidate voiced her support for voter ID last week. But listen to what she said just a couple of months ago.
No one has ever objected to having to prove who you are to vote. It's been part of our nation's history since the inception of voting. Voters without a driver's license or state ID must surrender their personal information and risk identity theft just to receive an absentee ballot. And then there are the 200,000 Georgia voters who don't have either ID, and the putative free ID that is not free when you factor in the cost of transportation and the cost of underlying documents.
Flip-flop, not just for the beach. Washington Free Beacon executive editor ridiculed the Post reporting, tweeting this: Republicans flip-flop, Democrats evolve. Joe.
Oh, boy. Speaking of night and day standards, right, that we just talked about based on party affiliation, here's how it works with Stacey Abrams. She could say her 2018 gubernatorial race was stolen. She could question election integrity, Harris, and become the most celebrated person in the country who doesn't hold elective office. She could support boycotts in Georgia, Harris, over its new voting law before being against it, to quote John Kerry, I guess, in this situation, after hurting small businesses, local businesses, many minority-owned, to the tune of $100 million after Major League Baseball moved its All-Star game to Colorado. She could be for voting without ID before being against it. And it's a gratuitous flip-flop. It's not a CIA, or CYA, I should say, to get my acronyms right. It's evolving on an issue because she's growing as a person. Therefore, we should all embrace said evolution. If she has an R next to her name, suddenly that embracing doesn't really happen now, does it?
Yeah, I wonder, too, if some of the redefining, reimagining, evolution isn't coming from some of the polling. Because the Monmouth poll today shows that 80% of Americans believe that voter ID is a good idea.
80% for, only 18% against. So, yeah, this isn't a matter of Stacey Abrams' convictions and what she should believe happened when you go to a voting facility, but looking at the numbers and saying, this could really hurt my next gubernatorial race, or next if I run for senator, or if I want to run for president one day. You don't want to be on the other side of an 80% issue, so she's evolved on the issue. Wow, go figure.
Or as the cool kids say, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, cool kids say
Joe
that.
Concha, always great to have you. Thank you.